Okay, well, welcome back into the channel. Paramay Trades. This is Paramay's Trade Journal. Not a financial advisor, folks. Just a market speculator. Much like yourselves, an aspiring chartist, technical analyst, if you will. So I wanted to take a look at the Dow Jones. Just one more chart before we close the evening out. Get back to trading. Commercial interest is one of our leading indicators. So COT is commitment of traders. Commercial interest, large hedgers, what we look at. Take a peek at some price actions, pivots, and just some established channels to see what we can see what's going on with the Dow Jones. First things first, take a look at commercial interest. All right. So we get a little bit of price movement to the downside. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. When we see that commercial interest over the last 5 or 6 weeks or so, or maybe even longer than that. So we had a complete, unbelievable, remarkable sell-off within the last 2 months. We had one, contract close from open to close, a total and complete, devastation or shredding of Dow Jones prices. And then commercials took it the other way within the last month. So what are we going to get this week? So we're looking at data, new net positions. So net long positions for the 14th. This is the data that we have, and they're setting new highs on net long positions on the 6-month index and the 3-year index. So we are getting a little bit of price correction right now. So that's what makes it really interesting, especially in the lower time frames. So we've got a 1 hour chart pulled up here. And so from contract change event to change event, so let's go, where did I find that before? I think it's on time axis here. Expiration, is that what we're looking at? Yep. So from one expiration to the next, complete down month. And then from one expiration to the next, complete up month. So what are we going to get here this week? And just a note too, we did peak up over the 50% retrace, something that Larry Williams had pointed out that got me interested in looking at the 50% range. And the NASDAQ has gotten well up over the 50%. I think it's somewhere up near the 75 or 80% retrace at this point. But Dow Jones didn't maintain up over the 50, so peaked up over it. It did close over it last week, just barely. Does this mean we're in a bull market? I don't really know. Some would argue yes. And a lot of people would argue no. A tremendous amount of people would argue no at this point. They would probably call you insane if you said that we were in a bull market at this point. So the trend channel on the 1 hour, it's not going to tell no lies though. For the most part, we've been in an uptrend since the last contract change. So let's just take a look and see what our trend channel is doing, what price action is doing. If we can make some sense out of this. So yeah, ZL, we just did this chart, and comms are really bullish on ZL, so it's something to watch there. If you haven't watched that video, it's over there. So let's validate this. Do we have a good point of control to work with? Well, let's just adjust this channel because I think it's a lot of phase here. Don't think we hit him on the head. So it was nice that we had this, we had to make the adjustments to the uptrend channel, previously, because we were blazing so high up over it. We used a channel, and this is what you do. Once the market gives you something, then you adjust, and you take note of it. So now that we've got this correctly positioned here, can we validate this uptrend channel? This point of control with what we're working with. I really like to use that first pivot, but close enough to the point of control that this makes a little bit of sense. So we're blazing when we had this data, when we had this information. Obviously a shift in market sentiment here, so we've established this support range. I had a nice swing look going on in this shorter term value box that we were working with. So I had a nice swing. Don't look like much, but it's there. We didn't push lower than this lower here. And now we've got ourselves a nice zero coefficient to work with. to establish this uptrend. So, is our point of control still valid? It looked pretty good. It looked pretty good in this area. A lot of dogfighting going on, on this line. And we start trading a little bit further below it. So now we start to look like we're getting a little bit weaker with the separation of the point of control. And now, is there going to be better buying opportunities that present themselves? So, zero coefficient always, better opportunities to be a buyer here, better, opportunities to be a seller up in this area. And since we seem to be shrinking a little bit on this in the bullish run within the last month, are we going to get some correction to the downside? So what we did take note of was that we were finding rejection on the zero coefficient. And we're breaking down a little bit. And then we used the negative 2.5 coefficient here to see if we're getting any additional breakdown. And it does look like we're getting some breakdown here. Does it mean that we can't bounce back up into this channel? It doesn't mean that we can't. Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that this can't go lower either. Most people fear that we're going to go retest the lows with the way that the economy is and unemployment and this, that, and the other thing. But I got a lot to get through before that happens. So I think if you're looking for a good valued area to be a buyer, somewhere down in here where we found support previously may look a little bit more appealing. Why does it look appealing? Is because, well, commercial interest is just not letting up right now. Comps are not letting up. So we did have this value box that we were working with previously that we kind of busted out of, right? Kind of busted out of this box with force. I think this is an important area. This could come into play in the coming days. Even if not by the end of the week. Well, maybe not by the end of the week, but you never know. Never know. So we're going to mark this off as being, our value high area, and something to look at, price level wise. And this was, temporarily a value high. So, about Tuesday, so it was almost better part of a week. 5 days trade. So hanging out here on the negative 2.5 coefficient. Is this thing going to break down a little bit? I think, I would be wary being a short seller right now. I really would be wary being a short seller. So we're back in this value range that we're working with. Here's the high. We got up over it. Probably a better opportunity to be a seller up in this area. But you want to be a short seller down in here with all of this confluence that we still got to work through and we still got to test. And our bulls, our sideline bulls, licking their chops at an opportunity to get into this uptrend because, they think that this is going to turn the other way. Not saying that we can't come down and test lower values. And I would be looking in these areas to be a buyer. Nice little bounce off this. I'm going to break this down before we can go any lower. Right now, a short-term established, short-term downtrend. What can we make of this that makes sense? Is there kind of a point of control working here? This looks like a little bit of price correction. So there it is, negative 2.5 coefficient. You can draw the lines you want on the chart and say it is hitting this, it isn't hitting this. We just like to use the negative 2.5 as a way of saying, okay, we've broke this uptrend channel. Here's an additional 25% if you want to be a buyer. So can this swing the other way too? Yeah, sure, why not? For that to happen, maybe come down here and bust through these lows, and then we get back up in here, fill this area, and come up and challenge this high. I'm going to wait for better opportunities to present themselves on the Dow Jones right now before I'm a buyer. I'd really like if we break back into this, do we fill this and come down and challenge these lows? So this swing low, do we challenge this swing low, and then before we head on off to the races? I just don't think it's gonna, with as strong as this is right now. I gotta think that, you know, buyers are licking their chops in this area to be a buyer. No, maybe not. Time will tell, but a couple areas to watch if you want to be a buyer. I think you definitely got to pull the trigger if we get down this low at 2,500. But I think these are the areas I'm concerned with at this point. I mean, nice buying opportunities in this area for a bounce at least. Maybe come up and re-challenge this if it does decide to break down. So it doesn't look like we're getting a little bit of some bounce action right now, but that's a nice swing. That's a nice swing. Maybe we can come back up in here. Oh boy, it's a hard look. It's a hard look there. Ooh, what else do we got? What can we work with here? We are retracing, but I'm going to wait for this knife to stick in the ground before I try to catch it, I think. And this could turn the other way just as well. We could stay in this value range. Not busting through it. Nice tail working. You know, even on the 30-minute. Nice tail working there. So can we get out of this relatively short uptrend? Sorry, downtrend. Downtrend here. What would we be looking at? We did break out of this value top. I might wait for a better opportunity here. I'm not interested in being a short seller just yet, I don't think. Folks, I'm trying to break out of being bearish. I'm an ultra bear, so it seems, which is ironic because I was born in May, but I'm a Taurus. I should be a bull. So we'll take a peek at this in the next, developing days. If you want to join us on Discord, we've got a community. We talk about the charts, we talk trade, post our charts, post our trades, and it's server address is listed in the description. So come join us and check out the rest of the videos. You hit the like button or the subscribe button or leave a comment. We really enjoy those too. Hope you find yourself on the profitable side of the trade, and we'll see you again on the next video.